Hello, Rupa here from Crafters Corner. I'm back with another video tutorial. Today we are going to do image transfer using Modpogge. So the main ingredients for today's project are Modpogge. This could be in either gloss or matte, whatever that you have. And then I'm using chalk paint sheepskin, folk art multi-surface paint in pure black, the satin finish varnish, the sanding block from Plate, an old wax candle, and some mod melts which I already have, and of course the silicone mat from Plate, which is going to help us solve all the stickiness that is involved in this project. And then I have this black and white printout. Yes, this is an old photograph that I had taken. This is about 45 years old. That's me and my mom, and being Mother's Day, I thought I will gift something for her. So I'm going to do an image transfer, and you need to remember that when you're doing an image transfer, you need to flip the image because it's going to go face down on the project, and then you would do a transfer. So whether it is the script or your photograph, it needs to be an image which is flipped over, and you need to take a laser printout, not an inkjet printout. Remember, it needs to be a laser printout. It could be black and white or it could be color, however you want it to be. I wanted a vintage feel to it. Not surprising, right? So which is why it is in black and white. And of course we're going to recycle something today, and that is nothing but an old plastic honey bottle, an empty one. Just to save time, I have cleaned the bottle and then given a coat of vintage black. That is just one coat of vintage black, which pure black, which I have given one full coat, and then let it dry. So the next step, we'll move on to the next step, which is I'm going to take the candle and then rub it in those areas where I want the distressed look, preferably around the edges, which is here, maybe around the rim. Again, this is a very impromptu project. I have not done one on plastic. I've been experimenting with image transfer on different mediums. I have done on glass and wood. I will be showing you the projects at the end. And this is a try on plastic. So join me in my adventure and experiments. So I'm going to rub the wax on areas where I think it would age. So this would be a 2-layer distressing. So I pretty much have covered the edges. So now what I'm going to do is cover it with chalk paint. I'm using the home decor one from folk art, and the color is sheepskin. Covering the whole bottle with a nice coat of sheepskin. I don't want it pure white. Sheepskin is kind of a very vintage white, or you can say off-white. And when the black is seen through, it gives a nice distressed look already, instead of starting off with white as the base. So what are you all planning for Mother's Day gifts? Okay, so I'm back again. I gave a coat of sheepskin. I just used a sponge. You can see the lovely texture that the sponge gives, which you can't get if you use a brush. However, it's totally optional whether you want to use a brush or a sponge. So this is one coat of sheepskin which I have dried, and then I fixed the cherub mod melt here, which is again coated with black, and then a top coat of sheepskin. So this is totally dry and ready for the next stage, which is the image transfer. So first I'm taking the script part. This is almost cut to size. It's a black and white print. So I just need to adhere it here. I think it can take a little bit more of trimming here. Next is to take the Modpogge. Your silicone mat is going to help you because you don't have to worry about it getting stuck. So give a liberal coat of Modpogge on the side where the print is. The edges, all of it needs to be covered. So that's a pretty liberal coat here. And then lift it up. Okay, so crease it out. We don't want any creases or air bubbles. Paying attention to the edges. The edges need to be sealed really well. If you think you have paint or glue, use a cloth to rub this in. You need to allow this to dry for a minimum of 2 hours. Okay. I placed the image roughly around bottle and I've drawn. Let me just cut it. There shouldn't be any folds, so this is fine. I think I'll have that curved here. Yes, I think that should fit in. This is also a flip over, so when you do the image transfer, you will get them facing straight. So again, it's image down. I'm going to apply the Modpogge. Do this gently. It's very important to do this step gently. Don't be in a hurry. My hands are messy, so I'm using a dry tissue to stick this. Pay attention to the edges. Needs to be sealed. So now you have another use to Modpogge. Other than a glue and a sealer, it can also be used for your image transfer. It's very interesting and very different from decoupage for the fact that it kind of blends with the surface. So you're now free to download any kind of printables, do a laser print and then transfer it to any kind of surface. You don't have to wait for that right kind of paper or tissue to decoupage now. You can. Meanwhile, as this is drying, we could do a little bit of distressing. Wherever we applied the wax, you could use the sandpaper to distress. So I'm using the sanding block here. So wherever you've applied the wax, the top coat just peels off, revealing the color beneath. In this case, it is black. So we have this distressed tone. I think that is fairly aged. So let me come back after this whole thing is dry. Okay, so I'm back with the plastic bottle now. This is dry. It's been over 2 hours now. Nice and dry. After the distressing, this is how it looks. So the next step to image transfer is you can take a sponge or a nice cloth, dip it in a bowl of water, squeeze out the extra water, let it be damp, and then you give this a nice, saturate the paper with water, let it sink in. We'll do one side at a time. So let that sink in, give it about 10 seconds. You can already see the script showing through. So all that we need to do now is take the layer of paper which is on top. The ink is already sealed with the Modpogge. All that you need to do is start rubbing it gently with your fingers. So the top layer of paper will come. This comes with practice as to how much you need to do. Yeah. The idea is you need to remove the paper part. So you can see the difference here where we've removed. So you gently start rubbing with your fingers. First remove the top layer and then slowly we can do a little more hard rubbing to remove the finer bits of paper. So when you have a white background, the paper kind of blends. So I will also show you where I've done a colored image, and there's another project where I've done a black and white image on a colored bottle, not a white one, preferably a lighter tone, because if you're going to use a black and white, it shows well against a lighter tone. So it's easy. If you think the paper is dry, you can just damp it again with water. Be careful with your rubbing, that is the key here, because if it's going to be too hard, you can remove the ink also. So slowly do that. Your first project may not be the best. This just needs a little bit of practice. This is my first project on plastic, so I have done my experiments before. So you can still see the layer of paper. So you need to get into to rub, and how much to rub. So that's the image transfer here. One last time. So let me do this and do the image on the other side and then come back to you. Okay, so I'm back. I've done the rubbing on the other side too. Look at the image. This is so distressed and so much the way I wanted. Yeah, this was a photograph taken in 1972, and that's me and my mom. I think I would have been about 3 months in that picture. Very close to me this picture is, and I wanted to do something for Mother's Day. So happy this experiment has worked out well so far. I have something in mind as for embellishments. Let's see. But for the next part, we need to seal what we have done. So the image part, I want to seal that first, and then go on to giving some splats here to age the bottle. The distressing is already done, so you can see the image transfer on both sides, and it's fairly blended with the background. You can't see the paper cut, right? So the white portion of the paper has been removed, and the picture just blends so well with the sheepskin chalk paint. So I'm going to take the Modpogge again. As you know, it is also a sealer. So I'm going to give a coat and seal this. Okay, so that's this side. And let me seal this portion. And then I'm going to dry this and I'll see you. Yeah, I'm back. I've just sealed the image transfer area with Modpogge and then dried it. So for the next stage, what I want to do is give some splats in black to give it a little more age. Yes, the more the distressed, the more I am in love with it. You can stop at this stage if you think this is all that you want, and then go about sealing it with varnish and then move on to embellishments. Well, my soul is not satisfied yet. I want more distressing to happen. So I take some pure black multi-surface paints, add some water. Yes, the age-old toothbrush technique. I'm going to do some splats here. That needs to dry. I will dry that and come. Okay, so I'm back with all the final touches, but this time it's not one. I have 3 projects to show you. First, let us see what I did with the plastic bottle. So this is what finally I did to it. I tied a twine to it, and then actually a metal wire, and then gave it a handle, and I've wrapped some vintage twine to it. And for the side embellishments, I have the Sizzix die, which is again a distressed look I've given to the heart die cut, and then a small quote here which says, "Mom, you're my inspiration." So this is what dangles on this side. After the color splat, you can see how it looks totally distressed. Yes, I have not poured water at the moment. This is just to show you the jar on all the sides, and that's this side, and one look at the front. I added another mod melt here and then gave it a distressed look matching to the bottle. I thought the teal is a perfect icebreaker here to the otherwise vintage white look. These are the two teal embellishments, and then I have kept white roses here, and I think this would make a wonderful Mother's Day gift. You will see some photographs at the end. Do leave your comments. So this is project 1. I'm so happy this turned out so well on plastic, and I've given 2 coats of varnish here so that while pouring water, even minor accidents should not do anything to the can. So that's this project with the flowers. And then here's another experiment with the bottle. I've done the same black and white image transfer. For this I have given patina. That's the color that I've chosen. In fact, I don't think it's patina. Sorry, it is Seaside Villa. That's the lightest one I have in chalk paint. Yes, I'm sorry girls, it's Seaside Villa. It's a very light teal and I just loved it. So as always, I gave a coat of black to the bottle and then the Seaside Villa, and that's the image transfer. And here it says Mom, a title just above Queen. Yes, you can see the mistake here. I rubbed in a little too much and then a bit of the M is missing. And then the black color splats and a coat of varnish, and that again has some mogra. Smelling good in my room. So happy how this turned out too. So that's on glass, project 2. And here's the last one on metal. That's a stainless steel tin. It's an old tin that was lying at home. Again, for this I gave red as the base. If you can see a little bit of distressing here, you can see the red. The red is the base coat, which is imperial, and then I gave sheepskin on top. And this is a colored image that I have done, image transfer. You can see how the edges have all blended. It's equally vibrant, and on the other side too, that's a colored image. And then I've done color splats in red, tied a cloth ribbon, again 2 coats of varnish, and this now holds my kitchen ladles. Definitely adds color to my kitchen. So that's 3 projects, 1 on metal, 1 on glass, and 1 on plastic. I will share some pictures with you at the end. Have a look and then let me know and give this a try. Image transfer is fun, it's amazing, it's addictive. Keep rocking. There is so much that you can do with image transfer now. I'll see you with another tutorial. Bye bye. Happy Mother's Day.